Hey guys, how's it going? So, day one is done for me, and this is my recap of kind of thoughts and stuff on what I think about Druid. So, is Druid bad? Well, it's not Hunterson. As you can tell there, the bear is also saying no, it's not bad. It really is a case of having just potentially overpowered skills. I don't know if this is just, they definitely didn't want to have Huntress 2.0 here with this, but overall it's I mean, as you can see, they're starting out two people. The vines are doing decent damage, the mall's doing good damage, everything just feels really good. Now it did, I will say this, have melee problems and melee syndrome, and from what I've heard from anybody who's started doing mainly wolf things as well, they've had some issues with that, but they've felt very ice monk if they've played that in the past, and a couple of them have. So as far as that goes, the wolf stuff I don't have much to say on because I didn't try too much of it, other than now I'm using one of the abilities of the wolf, which is just kind of more for movement and gap closing. But overall, the main thing with the wolf that I hear is that it does have just typical melee problems, but it feels very Ice Monk if you've ever played something like that. As far as how the bear felt, because I was kind of waiting to try more of the Wyvern and stuff, and I really wanted to do Wyvern. The title, of course, was Wyverns only. Pretty much, I, want to get to the Wyvern as soon as possible, but bear things, big slams, big hits like that, building up huge amounts of stun, of course, with the rage and everything else, felt really good. I mean, there's no complaints. Maul gives you rage, then you get big hits, so you got a rage spender, good combos, stuff like that. So that felt really good. Then finally, I got the Wyvern. Rolling Magma itself felt pretty solid as far as just, again, it's just rolling magma from PoE1 effectively, leveling, like literally straight up, just early leveling without really much of a difference. I did put slower proj, I think, after where this video is. Slower proj definitely felt a lot better. Of course, the damage was there. And the main thing is, what I didn't realize is that it also procced a bunch of slam stuff, which finally, with the volcano and vines slowing things in it, caused the slams, and then overall, I had a lot more damage when it kind of came down to just getting some single target, which at first was kind of feeling a little awkward just trying to play Wyvern itself. Melee definitely didn't feel good at this stage. As you can tell, I'm running around just spitting rolling magma only, not really using Rend at all. So Rend didn't really feel like too much of an option, especially this early. Uh, as you'll see later, it definitely became one of my main options, and definitely going forward, I'm going to try to do Rend, and we'll probably go back to this fire stuff later, but you'll see what I mean here in a second. So again, I was pretty much using a combo of Volcano with Slam, maybe some Entangle for slow, and then, of course, getting the Totem in there as well. Again, not realizing all the projectiles coming out of the Volcano as I was just hitting the slams, as well as the Totem also hitting its slam. Definitely meant for some decent single target damage. Again, this is two people here at the same time, so really good damage overall. Yeah, look at all those coming out of that from the rolling magma and the totem. So I actually used this combo at the Act 1 boss, but he did move around a lot, so it was kind of... you don't really get to see the full showcase, but I mean, the damage was definitely there. So I would pound the ground, get all these fissures out, then I would go ahead and have a totem, the volcano, and then the rolling magma proc everything. And as you can tell here, the damage is quite significant, and the AoE clear also helps, especially with all the ads coming in. So this is another reason why I wanted to showcase this. Anything like this just made this fight which can be one of the more annoying ones depending on your build setup. This just made this fight super easy. And then again here, just kind of showcasing this combo, I pretty much just kept using it. At this point though, I was able to water plants, so that was kind of cool. This also synergized with a friend of mine who's using the toxic growth, which, you get to water those as well. That's pretty nice. And as you can see, the damage, though, still just rolling magma, really good with the volcanoes all combo together. Don't have any fissures here, but I definitely had them earlier. At this point, though, I was just, hitting the boss as much as I could. And then volcanoes plus rolling magma feels pretty solid as well. And I didn't also want to have the confusion of the fissures going out and cluttering the ground, especially when there's too many of these. But when it was close to the end, I definitely threw a lot of these out. So overall, really good damage, really solid, and that's just one of the combos. I'm definitely going to try to do something like that later. We'll see. The main goal of my build is going to be using Flame Breath, so we'll see what I actually end up doing. But that was definitely kind of a cool combo with the Fissures and the Rolling Magma Slam and something like that to use it. Now, I did kind of mess up here. I did take the Rage to begin with. I ended up respecking out of that because just the elemental damage is just that much better than just the spell damage Rage, because I was trying to do some kind of combo thing. That's the main thing, where I do both, so the Volcano plus the Rolling Magma at the same time. We'll see what that ends up being, but yeah. As far as the other stuff, though, there at the beginning, Spirit plus the Rune stuff, I don't know about that. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, I'm gonna play around with that at some point, probably closer to endgame, and see what I can come up with. So the first thing I want to bring up, too, is at the end of Act 2, what happened was, the final boss of the act kind of ended up being a wall for us a little bit. So overall, the main thing is, he's a poison build. I'm throwing out fire, I'm igniting things, it's not good. Poison clouds are going poof, mana problems come up, and then at the same time, my build's not just pumping out damage as easy. I can deal with the ad phase, but I'm not doing straight up boss damage as well. If he moves too much, anything like that, I gotta be careful not to get hit. So I can't just stand there, pound the ground, then do everything. There's just too much to set up, and that's, again, one of the issues of PoE 2 problems when you're trying to combo with lots of buttons. I really wanted to do everything. I was putting a storm, I was putting the vines, I put the volcanoes down, I put my totem down, I slammed the ground a bunch, and then I rolling magma. And then I had to put my volcanoes back up and rolling magma some more. So overall, it was just a lot too much. Mainly, I probably just dropped the Entangle. I started just doing the storm, and then volcano and stuff, and that it got us close. We definitely got into phase 2 a few times, but nothing too crazy. So what ended up happening? I was like, okay, well, I still got rolling magma here, looks like, but I needed to get rid of all the fire damage. So I started playing around with other things. Pounce is pretty nice, decent damage. Overall, not too bad. And it also, Gap Closer, I can generate Rage with it because it's just a melee hit. So I've got the melee points on the tree. Also on my tree, I was spec'd more into fire damage and stuff, which you'll see here. Again, I did take this, which was causing some ignites, but nothing crazy enough to actually stop the poison, and I'm missing int somehow. Okay, it's not when I weapon swap, we're good. So overall, I'm actually kind of curious, what is it? Can I not use a skill when it's probably a skill that works when I swap. But for the second one, I went ahead and took this now to kind of try it again. I could try Apocalypse. Apocalypse does sound pretty cool. Again, fire, so I wasn't trying to do that. And also I wanted to try the vines since I had those pretty much good to go. And what kind of pushed everything over the edge was we got lucky and found a level 9 gem. I went ahead and used it and got Oil Barrage. So I was trying to figure out what to do here. I looked at Oil Barrage, saw that it has the power charge stuff. Well, then I started playing around, went back to an area, tried the Wing Blast thing as well as Rolling Magma. Sorry, Rolling Magma. I just kind of read that. Where is it? Devour. There it is. So Devour gives you the power charge, and it's kind of the same thing if you're using the corpses from which one was that? The Profane Ritual kind of deal. You can kind of think of it like that. So it's also an execute, so you can also use it like the monk thing for power charges. Overall, I was like, sure, why not? Let's try the Devour, let's try this. Drop this because it's fire damage. Again, that's kind of where Pounce comes in, and Rend. I started using Rend. Pretty much this was my Rend until then, so I had to generate Rage with Rend. The rage on melee right here, that also is where I get most of my rage now, so that's pretty nice. I'm going back up to here. I was in this area. I took this extra damage. I had this fire wheel. I had this fire wheel. I think I even had this trying for some survivability since I was dying quite a bit pretty easily. But then I just kind of was like, okay, let's just try to get some stun, get as much damage as we can, and try this wing blast thing to get this heavy stun going and see what happens. So get there, get primed. I don't have the video for the fight of the end of the Act 2 boss, but tried that, not interfering with the poison because it's no longer fire, and oil barrage is absolutely insane. So this morning, after we got the Act 2 boss, we kept going into Act 3. So I just wanted to showcase a couple of the ones here that I decided to record after because that oil barrage is just so insane. I actually messed up the first one and stunned without, so this one I kept missing here, so whoops. Gotta get a little used to it. And then, as you can see, some of them even missed. That's 1, 2, okay, a few missed actually, but not a lot. But overall, though, as you saw, that is disgusting damage. And then we have the Chimera fight here. Again, I mess up here really early, and the stun just kind of goes off. Oops. So we'll go ahead and skip here. Finally, there we go. I get this one and just sit there, just as fast as the bar. Like, what does it even do? What is that damage? This is ridiculous. Next. So again, I missed this one because the stun buildup is just absolutely insane. And then I actually messed it up again. So, oops twice. So then I want to kind of showcase how strong just the other thing with power charge with the rend and stuff and just jumping around. And then finally there's the combo right there. You pounce in and then you do the wing flap thing. But in trying to find this though, yeah, I'm just a little too strong for these mobs. Everything's kind of just dying really quick. Even that rare there. So I kind of had to find something to showcase the combo. Again, it was just that magic pack. So, but in a pack like that, it can pretty much blow it up. With that much overkill, though, I thought about maybe trying something with Herald of Ash, but right now I've got the Presence one where you actually do the stun build up. So yeah, as you can see, really good so far. Lots of fun. I can't wait to get back in and see how far I can push this. Gonna be doing it solo this time around, so pretty much today and tomorrow I'm gonna do some solo leveling, see how that goes, and then go from there. Hopefully get into maps within the next couple of days. If I don't, then yeah, but either way I'm gonna try to be in maps definitely Monday, so I'll be streaming a lot Monday night. But other than that, the plan for skills, and I guess I can talk about the skills a little bit here. So Volcano, like I said, really good while I was leveling. Any kind of slams you can do with it, like I think this is technically slam. Yes, so if you're standing on top of your volcanoes, just slamming into it with that works. The Furious Slam, of course, works. The Pounce technically is a slam, right? Yeah, that can be a slam. So you can definitely use Pounce to get around, like jump on something, then Fury of the Mountain, then do a Furious Slam, where Fury of the Mountain is your rage generator. Just do like slam, 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 throw 2 volcanoes, put a shockwave down if you want. Rolling magma, any kind of combination with that does feel really good with the slam stuff. Thunderstorm definitely felt great as far as shock. So that was kind of nice. Let's see, what else do we have here? So I'll definitely be using that going forward, I think. If that doesn't really feel that good, especially once I swap the fire, then it is what it is. But I definitely have some lightning damage anyway, especially from the tree. So even with the flame breath, I'll probably be trying that. Thrashing Vines feels very good already. Tornado, they've already shown off the thing with Tornado. It looks insane. Plus everything you can put on the ground. Just, yeah, Tornado looks like it's probably going to be crazy. But, I mean, you know, I haven't been there yet. But just looking at the damage numbers, that looks pretty nice overall. And then any actual scaling with it. And if you can get 2 or 3 sources, it's already doing DPS as effective as what I've got. You get the thing that increases the limit of the tornadoes. It's double damage right there. So, yeah, looking pretty insane as far as the just damage from that and potential with what you can do with tornado. Rampage, I haven't seen that yet, but I mean, we've saw videos of it. If the fissures you're creating are good enough, you just run around in circles with Rampage. Probably insane. Probably rolling magma levels of proccing those, so that's really good. I haven't checked out Arctic Cow or anything. Frost Slash, like I said, I didn't do anything with that. Spell Totem, now that I've kind of played around with Wing Blast, I kind of wish I did try Spell Totem because Wing Blast actually gets me those charges. Obviously, Oil Barrage is just instant win, period. It's just insane how much damage it gains from just being empowered. Like, the empower stuff is just... It's crazy. It's insane how good that is. Let's see. I didn't touch Lunar Assault. Rolling Magma felt good all the way through. Like I said, I did that one combo till the Act 2 boss, and then solo, I probably could have got it down as well. Again, it's just one of those things, depending on where they move and the type of fight you're going through, that can be a pain. Ferocious Roar, I'm gonna try that. I haven't tried it yet, but the Warcry and stuff, the extra rage, just having that up front feels very good, and then also empowers one attack. The actual empower breaks armor, and I thought there was some damage here. You can also socket a Warcry, which is kind of cool, but I don't... Yeah, I thought it actually gave some damage. Maybe I'm crazy? But yeah, breaking armor, really nice anyway, so definitely try to utilize that at some point. Flame Breath, though, it sounds insane. I have seen some videos of people just flame breathing things, so that looks good already. Without really looking too much into it, the flame breath, I can't wait to get to that and try it. Oil Barrage was a very pleasant surprise. I was not expecting that to be anything other than just like, well, the help for Ignite here, the elemental resistance by 20, so yeah, getting the free exposure with that, that's just awesome. But instead, now I got Flame Breath, so, and the Ascendancy. So that's the other reason why I wasn't planning to go toward Apocalypse. Was I was going to like Oil Barrage and then Flame Breath. But also, Oil Barrage locks you in place. You're channeling effectively. It doesn't really feel that great to then try to follow something else up. So, if Flame Breath is pretty much that, but, you know, you're flying at the same time, that's going to feel a whole lot better. So, I definitely can't wait to get Flame Breath. Other than that, let's see. Gear-wise, what did I do? Here is my, again, where I was doing all the fire stuff. Here is my gear that I had pretty much at level 10 roughly, as far as the requirement goes. I found a pretty good talisman and stuck with that till I got this one as an upgrade, and then finally I got a max rage one that is just a bit better. So overall, just kind of, I don't know how these compare to other people's weapons, but so far these seem pretty strong. I did luck out with some uniques. I tried Painter's Servant, but where I'm not doing straight elemental damage, and it's already doing the fizz instead. Now with the fire damage on this, that would be nice, but I didn't pay attention to that. So unless it already had that, I wasn't really gaining much from this, so oops, my bad. And Iron Grasp, though, was really good, especially because you got Iron Will and Iron Grip. The Rolling Magma gets to utilize Iron Grip, and then the Volcano got to utilize Iron Will. So I was doing some strength stacking with that. That felt really good. And yeah, for the most part, none of my gear really is that crazy. I've just been putting on whatever I found. Got this out of the Chaos Temple. So far so good. Can't wait to see where this goes. Gonna pounce my way forward and Oil Barrage because that just seems kind of broken. So until that starts to fall off, or until I get Flame Breath, then yeah, I might try some Tornado. We'll see what happens. But overall, that's the plan. So anyway, let me know how your league start is going. Mine's going great so far. Can't wait to play more Druid. I haven't really had any issues. Definitely not Huntress problems. I know there was a lot of memes about that. It's going to be Huntress 2.0 problems and stuff like that. But hey, you know, it is what it is. So, love the leveling process of the game. The in-game, I can't wait till next season. I will say that much. Till they actually do some big in-game rework or something. I am going to be surprised if it looks anywhere near what it is currently. So, we'll see. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Usual stuff in the description below. Twitch for Discord, stuff like that. Let me know, again, how your league start went. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace!